All right, so I wanted to do a live daily self-care, kind of show you maybe what this looks like. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining it. I'm just going to get into it. First, I'm going to just kind of take some deep breaths. Just going to kind of get a feel for just my space and kind of connect with myself. Kind of get a feeling, what would be supportive to me today? What would I really enjoy doing? What would I enjoy experiencing? What would be most supportive for me? So I'm just going to sit with that for just a moment. And it's kind of funny because it's like I'm checking things out in my mind. It's like, oh, maybe I could do another hand mask. No, that doesn't feel good. Maybe I should do another soap. No, that doesn't feel good. Ooh, this has something to do with like a flavor, like taste, something that would be like very delicious. And I don't know what that would be right now, so I'm still gonna feel into that. It's not sugary sweet candy, which is really interesting because that's been something I've been kind of wanting lately. So it's very like I'm sensing it's like it's really kind of got this savory. It's like, oh my gosh, it's steak. Okay, apparently I need some steak, which I actually had some last night and it was fantastic. But apparently I'm gonna do some more. So I'm just gonna imagine it's like, and it's interesting. So like this is really funny because I'm thinking like eat it, but it's like no, it's like my body is like telling me something else about it. It's like it's kind of like it's letting me like that's my experience that I usually have with steak is like eating it, but apparently I'm not eating it. So like just the energy, like there's something about that particular food that holds an energy that apparently I'm needing. And so, okay, so what I'm gonna do, so this might kind of sound funny, but I'm gonna tell you, it works. So everything has its own like it's like a fingerprint. It's an energetic fingerprint, and a lot of times, like when I'm doing work, I'll call it like an energy frequency or something. But it's like everything's unique. It's like every human has a unique fingerprint. Like snowflakes are unique. The whole thing, right? Well, everything like has its own unique signature, so to speak. And so steak is going to have its own unique signature. And you can rain down that energy on like you can rain down that energy on yourself or somebody else or whatever and get the benefit out of that. And so I've done this before with different people, like, and I've taught people how to do it, like especially like, oh, I had a friend and she was having a hard time and her kids were just struggling and they just needed some fun, they needed some love, they needed some fun. And so I told her, it's like, okay, we'll totally make this a game, and just imagine that you're like raining down little emoticons, you know, it's like they have the hearts in it and they have the goofy faces in it and that have like all these different things that like symbolize what would be supportive for you. And they did, and they said we were laughing and giggling and we felt so much better. And I've done this, I've like imagined raining down hugs on people, I've imagined raining down like peace signs in a like really contentious situation. I like just these different things, and it works and it's fantastic. So what I'm gonna do for me is I'm going to rain down little emoticon, like little, like imagine little raindrops that have little stakes in them, and that's like my imagination, like visual part of me that's representing like whatever this signature is that I'm apparently needing, which I do find funny because it seems like I have consistently, like when it comes to my protein, all I want is steak. It's like just constantly, it's like steak and ground beef and beef, like just beef. It's like, which is so funny because in the past I've totally been like a chicken person or a pork or like fish, like I love fish, and that I none of that sounds good. I'm just constantly wanting the beef. And so apparently there is something about it that I am not getting, by eating it. And so I am going to support my body by bringing in the energy of that and supporting myself. So, okay, so I'm just going to sit here, take that deep breath, and I'm just going to imagine like as if I were standing out in the rain, and like it's just, I can actually feel it just like flooding down on me, and just this energy, and it's surprising me because it feels so loving. Like it is like giving me something that I so desperately need, that I don't know how I'm not getting it by eating it. But I feel it. It's just like washing over me, and it's just this feeling of joy of being supported. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but I can feel the tears welling up in my eyes because it feels so good. There has got to be like some subconscious connection I have with beef that like connects me to feeling loved, and I cannot imagine what that would be right now. I am not even gonna try and go into that on a video, so I'm just gonna keep receiving that because I think I'm not done yet. And it's so cute because as I'm feeling like I've received what I need, it feels like it's starting to let up. Like instead of being like this drenching downpour onto me, it feels like it's let up into like just this little sprinkles. And it's like as if the rain and the clouds part and the sun comes out. It's as if, and I find it fascinating how that can work with our imagination side of it, but how that then comes in. We can use our imagination to help bring in the energy that supports us. We really can. And just experiencing something as if you were really experiencing it. And it's really interesting because I used to do something similar to this, but it would trigger me to be sad that I wasn't getting the actual support that I had. Like I think it was like at the time it was getting massages, and it would actually make me sad because I would imagine I was getting massage, but I wasn't really in it. It was interesting. It was like I was watching it from outside of me instead of as if I were in it and experiencing it. And I've been able to make that shift to be able to be in it instead of feeling like I'm watching it. And it's made this huge difference. Like all kinds of things I've done with being able to have that shift of like imagining that I'm actually receiving it instead of imagining that I'm watching myself receive it. And the feeling is stark. It is like such a contrast. So if you are doing this, if you're going to play with this, that is one thing I will mention, is imagine that you're in it instead of watching it. So, all right, go and play with this, and you can have a good laugh if you need to, because steak. All right, go play with this, have fun, and I'll catch up with you later. Bye.